Hello, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create an origin with the MGZ origin creator. Now, I would make a just raw coding showcase, but that would probably take hours and I'm not that good at just raw coding. So I'm just going to be using the origin creator. In my opinion, it's just a tiny bit faster than normal coding. Yeah, so here is just a quick tour of the site. Here you have the meta tab, which basically you just name the file, you choose an icon. So basically when you download the data pack, it will have an automatic name or it will have a icon when you put it in. You can also have a description and stuff. And this right here, pack version, this is pretty important. For example, 6 means it's for 1.16. 7, which I'm going to do right now, means it's for 1.17, which I find easier. Yeah, so that's pack version, that's meta. Origin layers, this is where you put your origins. So basically, you don't do that much here, but you just put in the name of the origin. The actual origin tab itself, this is where you make your origins. So I'm just going to name this one. Okay, so basically, your origin has to have a sort of code name, I like to call it. Now, the code name, don't make it that long, make it kind of short so you can write it a lot, because it's basically, I'm just going to call this one like test, just test. And for this one, like for the origin file itself, you have to do the name of the origin, or the code name, colon, and then the code name again. So basically, codename, colon, codename. And actually put that in the origin layer too, and how you do that. You just don't really do anything here apart from put in origins. So go to where it says origins, click the plus, and then test. If you want to have multiple origins, just have multiple of these and multiple of those, but I'll explain that later maybe. So here itself is the origin file. You're going to want to put the name of the origin where you see it in the origin screen. So I'm just going to name this one test origin. This origin is a test. There we go. Here is where you put the icon. So this is the block or the item that's going to appear in the origin screen. And what I like to do for this is because it can be pretty specific with names, and if you get it wrong, the entire origin won't work. So I like to, let's just, item IDs, just search that up. Oh, forgot to put Minecraft. Yeah, I'll link this site in the description. So this is the site I like to go to. It's just pretty reliable. So let's just say we want to have a nether star as the item ID. We would just search up nether star or nether star. And then here we go, the item ID right here. Legacy item ID, this, I don't know what that does fully, so I'm just going to ignore that. But item ID, you just want to copy this and paste it in here. Or if you know the item ID, you can just put it in. Powers, this is where you'll put your powers. So while you code your powers in the powers tab, you put the names of your powers here for them to actually appear in the origin. Impact is the impact of the origin, so pretty much like the circles, which determine how much of an impact the origin is going to have on your gameplay. You can put this, well, it determines on your origin, but I'll just do 3 for easy access, so it will appear first. Order, this is also not that important, but basically, for example, if I were to put the order 10, then when I went back 1, because it's an impact 3, which is behind where you start in the origin screen. Sorry if I'm not good at explaining things, but basically order, I usually just put 10 so that when I go back 1 in the origin screen, it's instantly there. Load priority, I am not sure what this does. Oh yeah, if you hover your mouse over a certain thing, it will give you a brief description. Like if I put powers here, basically a list of powers which blah blah blah. Okay. So unchoosable, this usually you would not choose, but I'll explain later what you would choose this under. Upgrades, this basically determines, like, for example, let's say I want to make it so that my origin evolves from test origin to evolved test origin, something like that. When you defeat the Ender Dragon, then you would just put the advancement ID right here of defeating the Ender Dragon, the origin ID of the next origin you want to evolve to, and what it says in the chat when you defeat it. So that's the origins tab right there. And we have the powers tab. Now this is where you're going to do most of the coding most of the time. So you just oh yeah, by the way, if you don't know how I'm like adding files, you just right click the tab that you want to add a file to and press new file. You can do new folder to add like a folder of files, stuff like that. Okay, so new file right here, and you pretty much have to have a code name for each power too. So let's say I want to give this origin night vision. So just for easy access, I'll just do vision as the code name. And when I do that, then I would put the code name of the origin, colon, and then the code name of the ability that I just created. So sorry if this is a bit confusing, but test colon vision. There we go. And this vision is going to be night vision. So night vision. You can see in the dark. Now there are two ways of giving night vision. The first way is just, oh, by the way, I should probably tour this. So here's the name of the power that you're going to see in the origin screen, the description, and then this is the type. So basically this determines what kind of ability you're going to do. Let's just say you want an ability that fires an arrow when you click a keybind. Then that would be, let's find it. That would be a, here we go. Actually, no, not here we go. Here we go. So, origins, colon, fire, projectile. Now, this, you basically, like, put the ID of the projectile, so I would put Minecraft colon arrow. The cooldown of the ability. Now, cooldowns in this work as ticks. So 20 ticks equals 1 second. So if I were to put 20 here, that would be a 1 second cooldown. Projectile counts, that just determines if you want to have multiple projectile. Speed is just the speed of the projectile. Sometimes I like to do 2, because by default it's 1.5. Spread, it basically like random spread, you know. Sound, you have to put the specific ID of the noise you want to make. You don't have to make a noise when you shoot it, but you can do that. Now HUD, I'm pretty sure this is required for the ability to work. So this is a bit more complicated. If you don't want it to have an icon, then just press the plus here and then don't render it. Now if you do want to render it, then basically you're gonna want to research resource bars. Now you can either search up the origins documentary, or you can just press wiki format right here and it will open the origins wiki. Now if you're looking at resource bars, you would just scroll down and go to resource bars here. Now you can look at each of these, for example, just like click one and see if you like any of the icons for your ability. Let's see. This one right here. This one looks good for an arrow. So the way you count resource bars, it's a little complicated, but I'm pretty sure you go 0, 1, 2, 3. So sometimes this doesn't work. I'm not the most, I'm not very advanced in resource bars, but this would be the third, I think. So I'm going to copy, just to make sure that's the one I had. Yep. So I'm going to copy this link right here. I'm going to paste it in here. Paste it right there. And then the bar index is 3. So that's that stuff. Projectile MBT, you can use this to like give the arrow potion effects, you could say. I'm not sure really how to code MBT, but yeah. Now, keys, you would think, right, that you just put in a key, and that's the keybind. But you need to be pretty specific. So again, I'll refer to the wiki right here. I'll link it in the description. Key bindings. Now, you need to put specific IDs of key bindings. So let's say I want to do it just as a primary. You can either do this right here, or you can just put primary in. Let's just spell that right. Yeah, and continuous basically makes it so that if you select this, when the cooldown is over, and if you're holding the button, it will automatically fire, instead of you having to press the button again. So, sorry if that was a bit, yeah, I probably shouldn't have explained that for so long. This is literally just one of the many, many types. But let's get back to the topic. So, say you want to learn how to give your origin night vision. So you can do that in two ways. Stacking status effect, which gives potion effects. Basically how this works, you just put this here, 0, 1, 20, and put like the effects. So like Minecraft, resistance, always gives you resistance, stuff like that. So you can do that with night vision here, but the way I like to do it, which is like more reliable, is just the night vision type. And you can also make it toggleable by selecting, where is it? Pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Yeah, sorry if this isn't very professional. I'm just not extremely skilled in the Origin Creator. But basically, you can just select the toggleable night vision option to make it toggleable also. But I just like to do night vision usually. So you can see in the dark, that's one of those. And then we have that set up. So origin layer setup, we'll just name this test file. We're not adding an icon, but if you do, just press choose file and then select the file that you want. So, yeah, you can add a description if you want. You can also add more abilities. Obviously, most people would, but let's just see if this one works. So, to data pack, you press to convert it into a data pack, and then let's just create a new Minecraft world. So, create new worlds. Usually, I like to allow cheats just in case I'm going to troubleshoot, but you don't have to. I just like to do that. And then we're going to select data packs, open the pack folder. And then we're gonna select another thing right here, another file, and then we're gonna drag the origin file into the folder, and it's gonna appear right here. If it doesn't, then you probably did something wrong. Try and just like unzip it. We're gonna create new world, and we just wait for the world to load. Alright, and the world has loaded. So let's see. I just like to go back one because it's a third impact. Now we have the test origin right here. You can see that it works. Test origin, you've got the nether star icon, 3 impacts. This origin is the test, and then night vision you can see in the dark. So let's just select this, and as you can see, now it doesn't pop up right here, the night vision, but you can see the power right there. And if we were to do this, we can still see. So that's how to create a certain power. Now I am gonna go over a few things now. So let's say you want to make it so that your origin, let's see. Let's say you want to make it so that your origin turns into a different origin when you select an ability. Alright, so this is actually something that I just figured out recently. So let's say the code name is just going to be test2. So test2, test2. And then test2, test2. So basically, we're just going to like make the second origin that we want to evolve to now. So test2 or test evolve. Let's just say that. I don't know why. Test origin. Okay, and I'm not sure why anyone would want to do this for just do random origin, but let's just do a campfire for the icon for no reason. Okay, and let's also make this one have vision. So test 2 vision. There we go. So we're just gonna make that. And if you have a second origin that you want to be able to like evolve to or whatever, but you don't want to show in the origin screen, that's where unchoosable comes in. You select this and it doesn't appear in the origin screen. So basically what we've done here is we've created a second origin, and we are going to create an ability called evolve, which we're going to put right here. Test evolve. And when you want to have an ability that can trigger something by doing a keybind, then it's an active self. Now, basically what this is, entity action just determines like what the thing is that you want to do when you press the keybind. HUD is what I explained earlier, and key is just, you know, the keybind. So let's just make this primary. Why not? And the cooldown will just be like 50. And let's not have a HUD because sometimes that doesn't work. It's pretty hard to explain that stuff. But okay, so entity action, we want to make it so that we can evolve into from test to test 2. So basically we're gonna want an origins and for the entity action, because that makes it so that we can have multiple of these instead of just one. So then it's going to be an execute command, and we are actually going to use the custom origin command, which basically, let's just go into world to test that we're using the right command. Alright, so we're going to do the /origin set at s origins origin. Alright, so that is the command, and let's just do this now. So the execute command right here that we're going to do when we do primary is going to be origin set at s origins origin, which means the origin layer, and the name of the origin layer is test2 test2. There we go. And let's say we want to add some effect to it. So let's play a sound when you evolve. Let's see, maybe like a beacon sound or something. So Minecraft beacon. I like to go on the wiki to do sound IDs because I can't really find it anywhere else. So let's see. Just waiting for this to load. Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be anything specific since this is just a test. Pretty much just a placeholder. Okay, so block beacon activate. That is the sound that we're going to play. And let's see if there's anything else we can do. Why not? This is just absolutely nothing, but why not just give you a stack of, let's see, give you a stack of campfires, because why not? Here we go. Alright. I think that's pretty much good. Evolve, and then primary allows you to evolve into the evolved test origin. There we go. So now let's make it, okay, so we could make it so that we go back. We can have an ability that goes back, but I think that would just take a bit too much time for this video, I guess. And how we would do that we would just add an ability to the second one where it's the exact same thing, but it just is test instead of test 2. So you can basically just mess around with that, and we're not going to render this. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is good, and let's hope that it works. So let's just do this one more time. Oh yeah, also, sorry if my skin's a bit weird. It's currently set for like an SMP. Kind of hard to explain, but yeah. Alright, and it works. There we go. So, primary, let's see. And it works. It works. So, basically, that sent us from the test origin to this one. Yeah, so that is basically how to create an origin. Now, I know this really didn't go into many types of powers, but I mean, it would take a lot longer to explain all of the powers. In fact, I'll just briefly do that now, just very, very briefly. So, let's see. Simple, this does nothing. Multiple, this allows you to have multiple powers in one power. Toggle, this allows you to toggle abilities. Attribute just gives you like more health or something. Burn, it makes you burn under a certain condition, or just burn all the time. Climbing, you climb up walls. This stuff, I don't know. Creative flight just gives you creative flight. Damage over time, gives you damage over time, or under a certain condition. Disable regen, I'm assuming that just disables normal regen. In fact, I think most of these are kind of self-explanatory. Yeah. Yeah, just ask in the comments if you have any questions. I know there probably are going to be a lot of you with questions because this wasn't that detailed, even though it took a while to create. So, yeah. Also, if you, now if you don't know how to do an ability, but you know an origin that can do the ability, just download the ability, or download the origin and import it through this. And then, although if you're going to post the origin, make sure to give credit to the original owner of the ability. So yeah, that has been how to make an origin. And I know it wasn't that detailed, but it would take a lot longer to do that. Yeah, thanks very much for watching.